Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Kingdom Youth Network. I do hope you're having a good day. I'd like to provide you with training today, and our topic for today is criticism. Now, you've probably been criticized by somebody, or you have criticized somebody before. We all do it, but we should not do it. You should not do it. I'm going to tell you why you should not do it. So, criticism is the act of expressing disapproval about somebody or something. You could be expressing disapproval about the way somebody dresses, like, why she got that on? Or why has he got those shoes on? Or why did he cut his hair like that? Or why does she look like that? Or why does he drive like that? So these are all critical words, okay? And so you can imagine sometimes you might express criticism directly to the person that you're talking to. Sometimes you might just express criticism amongst friends. The person you're talking about doesn't actually hear your words of criticism. But guess who hears it though? You do. Okay, so when you're criticizing somebody, before it hits their ears, if they're not in your presence, before it hits their ears, it hits your ears first. Okay, that's important to note because criticism affects the speaker, so the person critiquing, more than it does the person being criticized. Yes, the person being criticized will be affected, but so will you. Criticism must be differentiated from feedback. So if you are in a loving relationship with a spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, your parents, someone who loves you could say, "Girl, you talk too much," or "Boy, you're always late," you know. So now these words sound critical, they sound negative. However, it can be distinguished from criticism because when someone loves you and they tell you you're always late or you talk too much, they could say, okay, in relation to talking too much, they could say, perhaps if you take time to listen and ask questions, and then when the person you're talking to provides you with their opinion, then you can respond. What they've just done there is that they've helped you to figure out a way to not be so talkative. Okay, they've helped you out. If they say to you, you're always late, like my brother, you're always late, and they could say, okay, maybe if you set your clock 1 hour early or 2 hours early and try and get to where you're going to ahead of time instead of trying to be on time, that way you can perhaps fight that lateness. What they've done there is they've helped you, they've provided you with a way to solve the issue. That's how criticism differs from feedback. When someone provides you with feedback, usually they could offer you solution or they can point you in the right direction. They could say check online, or they could say talk to XYZ, and you'll find out what to do to try and solve that situation. So when someone is providing you feedback, they're trying to help you. When someone criticizes you or you criticize somebody else, you're not trying to help anyone. You're literally just blowing off steam. You're just venting. You're using words, but you're using your words negatively. And it's important for you to be aware of this because, like I said prior, when you use critical words, it hits your ears first. And when you get into the habit of always criticizing people, eventually what will happen is it'll become a habit, and eventually you will start to apply that habit not just to other people, but you'll start to apply those words of criticism to yourself. So you criticize the way you look, you criticize your hair, you criticize your weight, you criticize your face, your smile, anything. Why? Because you have formed the habit of criticism. So if you cannot find somebody outside of yourself to criticize, you will turn on yourself and you will criticize yourself. And guess what? When you criticize yourself, you're not going to feel good. Similarly, when you criticize other people, they do not feel good, which is why you should not do it. Life is not just about feeling good, life is about growth and feeling good. So you want to grow and you want to feel good. So the way to help people grow is to be intentional with your words, to provide helpful feedback that will help them grow. But just criticizing people, using words just flippantly about their shoes, about the way they look, about the way they dress, about the way they act, without any solution, any attempts to help them, those words of criticism, like I said, will affect you more than it affects them. So how do you deal with this situation when you're faced with the habits? If you've already formed the habit of criticism and you're trying to break out of it, I have some tips for you. Number one way that you can fight criticism is praise. If you meet someone or you're faced with a situation, look for something to praise. If there's nothing to praise, because sometimes there's nothing good to say, and you don't want to be a false person, you want to be true. So if there's nothing to say, the best thing for you to do is to be quiet, hold your peace, say nothing. But if and where possible, I suggest that you look for something to praise. It could be something inconsequential like the flowers or the table arrangements or the tires on the car. Maybe the car is knocked out, but they've got nice tires. You could say that, you know? Focus on the positive. Focus on something that is praiseworthy and praise the person, praise the situation with all of your heart. Be sincere about it. And as you get into the habit of looking for something to praise, guess what will happen to you? Because before the praise hits their ears, guess whose ears it hits first? It hits your ears first. So when you're giving out these words of praise to people just here, there, everywhere, you're making people feel good, but you're also feeling good as well. Because when you make other people feel good, you also feel good about yourself. And so when you start to feel good about yourself, you look for things to praise. You might not be at the weights that you want, but you could say, girl, your teeth looks nice today. Or you could say, boy, that t-shirt looks nice on you. It doesn't matter. Just look for something to praise and just abandon criticism. It's no good to anyone. It's no good to the person receiving it, and it's no good to you who are giving it out. So turn to praise instead of criticism. And please feel free to share this video with whoever you think needs to hear it. Until next time, from my heart to yours, do take it easy. Bye.